BBC Radio Merseyside.
01517099333. Some great suggestions of your acts of kindness this morning. Let me talk about Ward 61. Sounds like a TV show, doesn't it? There's something very different about Ward 61 in Aintree University Hospital this week. None of the staff or patients are quite what they seem. The hospital has joined forces with the NHS Northwest Centre for Simulation and Patient Safety. They're holding a week-long series of extra special training sessions for doctors and nurses in a real-life ward. Simon Moffat is at the hospital for us now, and it involves dummies. Over to you, Simon.
Thanks. That's a lovely intro for me there, Tony. Good morning. As you say, I'm on Ward 61 here at Aintree Hospital. Now, it is a real ward, and the staff probably are what they say. We are talking about real doctors and real consultants here and real medical students coming along a bit later. But as far as the patients go, that's a completely different story. Some of them are going to be hospital volunteers playing at patients for training purposes. But we do have a number of what are called sim man on the ward. 3 at the moment in their hospital beds. They look like they've had a pretty good night. The one I'm standing next to, his pulse is 80, which I'm told is pretty good, and his blood pressure's fine. We'll have a chat with him in a short while, but first of all, I'd like to introduce you to consultant anaesthetist Dr. Simon Mercer. He's the director of the Centre for Simulation and Patient Safety. So first of all, you can tell us what this week is all about.
Good morning. This week's all about patient safety, and what we've done is we took over an actual ward in the hospital. On Friday, this was a ward that was dealing with patients, and we've been given the opportunity to run simulation for the week. We've got 9 high-fidelity simulation mannequins, which are going to have various medical problems, and the focus is really allowing our staff and medical students and nursing students and pharmacy students the opportunity to practice and also look at patient safety, try and reduce errors, try and make our practice safer.
How realistic are these training exercises?
Well, we're on an actual ward. This is called in situ simulation, so it's the actual beds, the actual monitors that the patients have, and the standard operating procedures and the protocols that the hospital have. The mannequin itself is very realistic. It costs in the order of £60,000. His pupils react to light if you shine a light in them. You can feel his pulses in his wrist and his neck. You can listen to his heart sounds in his lungs. And he responds to drugs as well if we inject drugs and give him oxygen. And he also talks to us.
I can see his chest going up and down now, so he's clearly breathing and doing okay at the moment. And we've also got, if you like, the usual hospital computer by his bedside with all his vital signs. Take us through. Is he looking good at the moment?
Yeah, he's looking good. This is a wireless mannequin, so he's got no wires attached. So that allows us to wheel him around the hospital. So if he needed to go for a CT scan, then we can arrange that. If he needs to go for an operation, we can wheel him to theatre or to the ITU. So at the moment, we're showing his ECG, which is a trace of his heart. That's 78 at the moment. We've got a little peg on his finger measuring the oxygen saturation, which is 99. And his blood pressure's looking pretty good. It's 120/80. And we can change all of this wirelessly as the scenario goes on. So we can make him become ill or we can make him become better, depending on what the learning objectives of each scenario are.
What was wrong with him yesterday? Why is he still blocking a bed here?
Well, this is a chap who had an asthma attack yesterday, and some of our fourth-year medical students met him on a ward round and started off the initiative and referred him to a respiratory consultant.
Right, if I could just bring in Sim Man now. We're calling Sim Man Charles. We reckon he looks about 25. Admittedly, his hospital wristband says he's 93, but he's looking pretty good on that because he's got a full head of hair. And good morning to you, Sim Man. How are you?
Good morning. Am I on the radio now?
You are on the radio now. You're on the Tony Snell breakfast program.
Oh, delighted.
Now, what was your night like?
Well, I had quite a good night, actually, because I worked very hard yesterday, and I got a really good night's sleep because I was so tired. Yesterday wasn't so good, though.
Why? What was wrong with you, Sim Man?
Well, I had a terrible time. I couldn't breathe. My heart was pounding in my chest, and I just felt awful.
Now, have you had any visitors? Is there a Sim woman or Sim kids to come and visit you today?
Yes, there's Sim Mom, there's Sim Junior, there's a Sim newborn baby we've just recently added to the family, and a Sim baby.
Well, you're looking very good on 93, and I know you're in good hands. If I could bring you back in here, Simon, what will happen to Simman today? He's looking pretty good at the moment. I think he should be allowed out.
Yes, I think this particular Simman's going to be discharged, but we've got a whole range of scenarios today, from an upper GI bleed, to somebody having a bleed from their stomach, to a septic patient who's going to go to critical care, and another patient who's going to have to go back to theatre. We've got a series of ward rounds for our medical students, and later on today we're going to activate the actual medical emergency team, a team of doctors and nurses who are going to come from all around the hospital and deal with somebody who's pretty sick.
Well, many thanks to you all for joining us this morning. That's Dr. Simon Mercer, and of course Simman, who we're calling Charles. And as we know, Tony, he's not going to be in his own today because the wife and kids are coming in as well.
I like the idea of that. I'd be so tempted, though, to sit Simman in the waiting room while people came in and then just hide in another room and start shouting things to people in the room. Sorry, it just crossed my mind. It's a good idea. Well, I suppose to try and make it real is going to benefit our future doctors and nurses as well. So thank you. Tell me, Simman. He's great, Simon, isn't he? I love him.